up, everybody? Thank you for listening to the Not for Debate podcast, episode 9. I'm Banks of America. We got Wild Wild West and my guy, Great Wonder Boy, joining in on today's session. What's going on, fellas?
Yo.
What's going on, Banks?
How we doing, man? So this is another episode brought to you by yours truly, man. I know we've been MIA for a little bit incognito over time. I want you guys know, as always, it's good to be sitting here doing this podcast with y'all. How's everybody feeling, man?
I'm good, man. Got a lot of right now. Ready to do this thing and let's get to it. What about you, DeVore?
Yeah, you know what it is. I got a lot to get off my chest, so let's go ahead and get right into this.
Why you sound so angry?
I'm just telling you like it is. I'm just ready to get it off my chest because there's one particular topic.
So angry,
there was one particular topic that we're going to discuss today that I'm foaming at the mouth about, and I know that you're gonna sit back and try to argue with me for about almost an hour about this. So let's go.
All right, man. Well, listen, we're going to start it off, man. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to today's podcast. We got a good lineup for you guys today. We're going to start with our picks for the top 5 linebackers. We actually had to fine-tune this category. We started off as middle linebackers, but the linebacker position is so damn, so broad, like so, big. We just couldn't figure out how we're going to do it. So we're just going to go with top 5 linebackers in the league in general. So how about we start off with you, Wes, man? What's your top, man? Give us your 5.
Well, like you said, the linebacker position as a whole is changing. The game has changed from what it used to be. Now it's a passing league. Your linebackers now have to cover a lot more ground than they used to. Like a traditional line, like, say, Zach Thomas, whatever.
Legend, Hall of Famer, by the way, in my opinion.
I think so. Anyway, he just
should be in the Hall of Fame.
Got to go cover Rob Gronkowski or Evan Ingram. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, now you got linebackers that are able to, in my opinion, a true all-around linebacker, a guy that can cover, pass rush, on the blitz up the middle, outside, whatever, play zone. So my 5 guys I'm going to give you, do y'all want them in order?
Yeah, we start from 5. We can start from 5.
All right. Well, number 5, I got Deion Jones. And I was really running a tie between him and Melvin Smith because they kind of the same guy. They attack the ball from every angle on the field, run sideline to sideline. Mm-hmm. They can cover. Mm-hmm. And they do a lot for their respective defenses. Number 4 and number 3 are Alabama linebackers. CJ Mosley.
Oh, God.
They Hightower. Dude, like, you can't say enough about how consistent they are. Like, with their play. Like, it's never a drop-off for them 2 dudes. They always run the ball. Number 2 or number 1?
Well, I think one of them has injury issues, though. If I'm not mistaken, was that Dante Hightower, the one that's been dealing with injuries as of late? He's a general. He's a general, don't get me wrong. And I think that's another thing you got to think about with the middle linebacker position is how well they run the field. Because for the most part, they're the captains of the defense, so they have to be generals. And Ray Lewis is the reason why that position is the way it is. You know what I mean? So not having your guy there sometimes it hurts the team. But that just that just goes along with his how impactful he is on the field. So I can agree with that. That's it.
I think Hightower, he does have a real shoot, but he shows up when it's time to show up, like he did this week. Mm-hmm. Hightower, 4? CJ Mosley, 3. Because that dude never disappears. And number 1 and 2, respectively, are Luke Kuechly at 2 and Bobby Wagner at 1. That's what I see. That's what I say. I got Kuechly at 2 because Kuechly is a little bit of a fall off athletically. Well, Bobby Wagner, it ain't no fall off. Bobby Wagner is running with whatever. I done seen Kuechly get took deep, and he recently got shook by an 11-year-old. That video. Yeah.
I didn't see that video, but somebody else told me about that. I gotta watch that. Somebody else told me about that.
Hey man, had him
Ankles.
had him on skates out there. But
oh god,
that's the only reason that I can give Wagner the edge over him. Really, I see Wagner doing more physically.
Right.
He's more imposing than Kuechly. Also, I don't see Kuechly get ate up by blockers. Wagner just always find a way to shed off too.
Right. I mean, you can't. I mean, respectively, 1 and 2 at that spot are interchangeable, in my opinion. 1A, 1B for me, but yeah, that's no good picks, man. DeVore, what up, man? You still foaming over there? You good?
I'm thinking about Wes's first 2 picks with Dante Hightower being in his top 5. That's a little suspect to me. I will agree with you too, with both of y'all on 1 and 2 between Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly. But the only reason why I would give Bobby Wagner the edge over Luke Kuechly is because Luke Kuechly can't stay healthy.
Right. So give us your 5, man. Who you got? All right. I want to hear.
Before I give you my 5, I just want to let you guys know that I do have a rookie in my top 5, and I normally don't put rookies in my top 5. What? But I had to give credit where credit is due. So at number 5, I have Darius Leonard from the Indianapolis Colts. This dude was a tackling machine, man. He had like 163 tackles. And also, Telvin Smith is not going to be playing for the 2019 season due to issues he's having. But number 4, I got Kiko Alonso for the Miami Dolphins. Dude was top 5 in tackles throughout most of the 2018 season. And
oh my God, man. This is ridiculous, man. Kiko Alonso, man. Are you serious?
And if you go back to his rookie season with the Buffalo Bills, he posted up some godly numbers.
Here,
look it up. He posted up some godly numbers.
We're not talking about his rookie year, though.
But guess what? After in his second season, he got hurt. He tore his ACL. And then he got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were running a 4-3 defense. So with Kiko Alonso going back to a 3-4 defense, he's going to hopefully go back to that level of production. This is why we call it the prediction for 2019. And I predict that Kiko Alonso will have a breakout season. Again, moving on. Number 3, I have Levante David. I can't believe you left Levante David out your top 5, Wes, because that dude is consistently been a productive linebacker for the Tampa Bay Bucks, being a sideline to sideline linebacker, possibly the best coverage linebacker in football right now. Number 2,
I agree with that.
Number 2, we had this discussion about Luke Kuechly. The only reason why I ended up putting Luke Kuechly at number 2 and Bobby Wagner at my number 1 was because Luke Kuechly cannot stay healthy. I believe he's like 1 concussion away from calling it a career, to be quite honest with you. So in 2019, most definitely he's going to have to be, I wouldn't exactly say careful, because you can't prevent a head-on collision if you're playing linebacker, if your sole job is to cause the hit. But I just hope he's able to stay healthy for all 16 games and just is more weary moving forward, that he's getting up there in concussions. I believe he's like on his 3rd concussion right now. So
that's pretty serious.
But any objections to that, Wes Banks?
I mean, of course, I said my objections. I don't know why the hell Kiko Alonso is in his top 5.
Hey,
all right.
I just told you he was top 5 in tackles in 2018. So what more do you need?
But he's suspect, though. I've watched enough Miami Dolphins games to realize how suspect this man is. He's not that great. He's not that quick. I'm not taking away from his game. I'm not saying he's not a good linebacker, but he's not elite. Top 5 would make him an elite linebacker. That's what we're talking about.
That's understandable. But like I said, over the course of the past 6 years, he's been playing out of position, and he's still able to produce numbers. He's going back to a 3-4 linebacker scheme where he's going to be on the inside again.
Yeah, but he's undersized as a middle linebacker anyway. He's not that big. I don't feel like a 3-4 defense is going to make him a big of a difference. Well, it's going to be any improvement for him this later in his career. You're talking about somebody. The 3-4's defense. The design of it is for the linebackers to get after the quarterback and wreak havoc. But I just don't. I don't know. I mean. I don't know. The only objection I had is that I would agree with you with the Indianapolis Colts guy. I can't think of his name right now. I'm sorry, but I thought that was a great pick. Yeah, he's very good. I like that pick.
That's the only rookie I'm going to put in my top 5. Just
what? I think he's good. He's going to be number 1 soon. Eventually, he balled out his mind. He did really well.
Okay, I'm glad we can agree on at least Darius Leonard.
Yeah,
I got a question, bro. Just because he had 163 tackles, that don't mean the numbers don't always tell the story, bro.
Nah, but that defense was different this year too, bro.
Yeah, that defense has been different.
The Colts defense they played a whole lot better, and I believe he had a lot to do with it, bro. Have you seen the Colts defense this past year?
I did.
They played really well.
I mainly tried to watch Hooker. But,
Malik Hooker.
Yeah, that's the dude I was really trying to watch on that defense. But yes, he had 163 tackles, but I'm not going to put him up there just yet. I need to see him do that for a second year straight. At least give me 120.
Usually when you see a rookie linebacker come in and play like this, well, that's basically unheard of for a linebacker to come in the rookie year and play like that. Usually a rookie linebacker coming in is never in the top 15 as far as tackles. But this dude, he got it. He can read defenses. He's great in coverage. He can tackle. Like it's a difference between a quarterback and a linebacker. Like a quarterback could come in and a defensive coordinator would have to end up finding a weakness within a quarterback. When it comes down to a linebacker, if you're able to use great play recognition and watch film to know what you're actually doing, which Darius Leonard does, I'm sorry, I gotta put it in my top 5. Because
like I said, I need to see him for a second. If he can do that, all the glory to him. It was amazing. 163 tackles. Either he's really good or his D-line is trash. We will see.
Either he's finding the ball carrier or the ball carrier is coming to him. Regardless, when it comes down to it, he's right there.
Right on. Anyway, and what you said about Levante David, I think he's a bad linebacker. It's just Quan Alexander came right in, could have immediately replaced him with better production. Quan Alexander is better than Levante David.
That's not true.
No, I don't think
that's not true.
I disagree with that.
He was balling out before Quan Alexander got there.
Yeah, Levante David is a beast, bro. I'm sorry. I can't. And I normally agree with a lot that you say on that one, Wes. A lot of what you say. I know you know your football. But Levante David, man, he's special.
Watching him play side by side was amazing. But I've seen Quan Alexander show up a lot more than Levante David showed up. And I'm talking about
because Quan Alexander is more of a thumper than Levante David is too. So physically, he's gonna look more intimidating. But on the field, when you see Levante David is the Tampa Bay's reincarnated version of Derrick Brooks, in my opinion. Like, the dude is insanely smart, and he knows everything on the field. I don't know if you watch him play, but that dude is smart, bro. Like, he is smart.
I just said, I watched them side by side, and I just seen more of a, like you say, more of a splash play from Quan Alexander. And I don't know why they got rid of that dude. He was
because they know who the better linebacker is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the better linebacker stays. I think the better linebacker stays here. They Tampa made a decision.
That's up for debate, but let's go ahead. Who you got? What's your top 5?
Yeah, man, we're gonna move right along, man. Of course, you know my top 5 is always gonna be the best top 5. But starting off, I got a very controversial pick here, but I really couldn't decide. But I really like this guy a lot. I like Roquan Smith, I should say, from Chicago Bears. I like a lot of what I saw from Roquan Smith last year with the Bears. I thought he did really well, fitting right into that defense. The Bears defense improved with the additions of Khalil Mack. And I think Roquan Smith got a good opportunity to get next to another linebacker as great as, Khalil Mack, and they made it work. He can cover, he can hit. It's nothing much that he can't do. I don't think I can probably say that it's not that great about him from what I've seen. It's probably like he makes some terrible decision, like his decision maker. He seemed like out of place a lot during it. Like he was trying to find himself, which is fine considering, things that was going on and everything. But I got Roquan Smith at 5. I went ahead and put Levante David at 4. For reasons we've already discussed, Levante David is a very good elite linebacker, and he plays at a high level every year. Very underrated guy that doesn't get a lot of consideration. We got number 4. I have DJ Mosley. What is that to say about him? Like, the man can ball. Like, he's a really good linebacker, and he's young. He's quick. He's fast. He got good hands at the linebacker position. He can hit. I don't know. There's nothing much I can say about him. And unlike you guys, I'm going to go ahead and put Bobby Wagner at number 2. And I have Luke Kuechly at number 1. That was very tough for me. Like I said, 1A, 1B. But I'm going to go ahead and respect what Luke Kuechly's body of work means. It's not to take away from Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner, we all can agree here, Bobby Wagner deserves the number 1 spot. But I just feel like I'm just paying homage because I feel like Luke Kuechly is on his last legs, like DeVore said. And, he's going to be riding out soon. And then when I think it'll be Bobby Wagner's turn to be that number 1 guy. So right now, until Luke Kuechly hangs his cleats up, to me, he's going to always be the best middle linebacker in the league simply because of his level of play and how he's been able to do it on a consistent basis, even with injuries. You can see the impact on the field he has when he's there and when he's not there. The Carolina Panthers defense is completely different. But I'm going to give it off to Bobby Wagner and say that he deserves it too. So yeah, that's my pick, man. Those are my top 5. Outside
of having rookie right there, I ain't got much on that one.
Yeah, Roquan. Like I said, Roquan was, to me, he once he figures it out, it's going to be a problem.
I wouldn't put Roquan in my top 5 either, considering the fact the names that are already on that Chicago Bears defense.
Yeah, true.
Because Leonard Floyd is a baller. You brag about Khalil Mack, how great he is.
Because he is.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I wouldn't put Roquan Smith in my top 5 if I got all that ballers in that.
I'm just saying, defense. Man. You gonna see?
Okay.
You gonna see in a couple years, man.
Okay, I'll jot that down too.
So you Roquan Smith in your top 5, but Kiko Alonso is there.
Yeah, Kiko Alonso is there.
You can't. Like, for real.
Man, DeVore is dead serious, man. It's a Miami Dolphins player is going to always make his top list at some position, bro. It don't matter. It's going to be a Miami Dolphin player there.
Wait till we get to the corners.
Good argument.
Wait till we get to the corners.
So we're gonna move it along. And we're gonna switch sports here, man. We're gonna talk a little bit. How about this, guys? I think the NBA offseason has already been better than the NFL offseason already. there's been a lot of shakeup been going on in the league, which I think is better for the league. But let's talk a little bit about the Russell Westbrook trade and what impact and that's going to have on the league. Of course, we all know Russell Westbrook was recently traded. I had no doubt that was going to happen once Paul George moved. There was no way Russell Westbrook was going to stay on that team by himself and carry the load for another season like he did the year after Kevin Durant left. It would have just put too much on his body already as it is. But Russell Westbrook was traded in a deal with Chris Paul for Chris Paul, along with a couple first-round picks, which I think
it was a 2024 first and a 2026 first.
Yeah. So the Oklahoma City Thunder end up getting the better out of this deal, in my opinion. But I don't think neither side lost anything. Chris Paul is on his last legs. I'm happy to see that the league is starting to recognize that Chris Paul is just not that elite level of a point guard anymore. And it sucks, but you can see him deteriorating. He doesn't look the same guy like he was a couple years ago. And I know Chris Paul is going to probably take that personally because he's always been a pit bull on the court. He's a true definition of a point guard, a floor general. But he's on the later side of his career now. And the way the point guard position is played now with a heavy pick and roll and being able to get to the basket and finish, his style of play is starting to it's not what the league is about right now. You got guys like Damian Lillard. You got guys like Russell Westbrook, who he got traded for. I mean, you got those slasher-type guards who can, get to the rim at ease. You know what I mean? You got guys like Steph Curry, who's constantly changing the lead, the way he shoots the ball. I mean, it's really no spot for Chris Paul right now. But don't be surprised, in my opinion, because he's not going to last at OKC. OKC is going to buy him out. And he's probably going to end up landing, I think personally, he's going to end up landing let's say Miami with the Heat, or maybe in Los Angeles with the Lakers with LeBron, personally. But, to talk about the impact this trade had on the league, I think that the Houston Rockets have catapulted their way up to the top of the standings, in my opinion. Simply because you have a very nasty 1-2 punch at the point guard and shooting guard position. We talk about two guys who are probably averaging like 20 free throws a night. And they're both on the same team now. The only problem I would have is there's not enough balls to go around, normal. But I think that's going to be. It's just the type of players they are now. When we're talking Russell Westbrook and James Harden, the type of players they are now are nowhere the type of players they were in their rookie years when they first hooked up. They are completely different beasts. They two different animals. They're not the same players, and I really feel they're gonna run shop in the West. So what's y'all take on it, man? What y'all think? We'll start with you, Wes. What you think, bro?
First off, I'm happy for Russ for getting out there and actually, trying to get on the team and, compete for a championship, because he wasn't going to do it by himself.
Yeah.
At all. Like you said, he seen PG was out and he was like, yo, I'm not going to sit here and deteriorate on this team. You see KD 3 years ago, whatever. I'm happy for him for getting out there. I like that 1-2 punch. There's gonna be a lot of points scored, bro. And I need to see their chemistry together. I need to see them actually play together like they did in OKC. And I need to see Harden get back on defense.
Yeah, but you know how deadlier that makes James Harden game, though. James Harden was already, that dangerous. This allows him to become. This allows him to become they can be like the Klay Thompson Steph Curry duo. You know what I mean? Like, but even probably better, because Russell Westbrook is not a better shooter than Steph Curry, but in terms of getting to that basket,
Shoot, he ain't even on the same universe.
Right. Well, we know that, duh. I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying is to being able to get to the basket and create havoc, man. And then that's just going to leave somebody like, I don't think Steph Curry's finishing ability is better than Russell Westbrook's. But I don't know. I mean, it's left to see, man. DeVore, chime in. Let us know how you feel about it, man. Talk to us.
Hold on, give one second. Do you think there'll be any ego coming into play with those two?
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
That might be
absolutely
that derails them from actually getting where they're trying to go, in my opinion.
Right.
All right.
I want to be very, very careful how I say this about Russell Westbrook. I'm a fan of Russell Westbrook's passion for the game. I'm just not a fan of his game. Y'all follow me on this?
You're saying he's overrated. That's what you're saying.
Basically. Now, like, again, I'm a fan of his passion. Like, one thing that I love in sports figures is how they show their passion during the game.
Absolutely.
That's one of my biggest.
Russell Westbrook got that Kobe Bryant in him, man.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I want to switch over to Chris. I want to talk about Chris Paul first. I never liked Chris Paul, honestly, because of the fact that he just has this attitude I just don't like. But he's the last of a dying breed. Like you said earlier, Banks. Now in the NBA, it's not called a point guard. You're like just a guard. So basically, you're gonna have to end up finishing at the rim, come off a pick and roll, be able to spot up and shoot. And Chris Paul can't do that. That's the guy. He's a pure point guard. He's the guy that'll quarterback the offense, bring the ball up court, and find the open guy and start to play up. And he's just the last of a dying breed. So I think this might be his last stop. It'll be his last stop with OKC. Now, moving forward, as far as OKC goes, because they got a lot of first round picks, Chris Paul can tutor those guys and to teach them how to be an NBA pro, considering the fact that he's the leader of the NBA Players Association, if I'm not mistaken. So he knows how to do that, like bring leadership to the Oklahoma City Thunder. But outside of that, really, it's just he's just bought into a situation where he's just developing the young talent that they're going to get over the next several years. Now, going to the Houston Rockets, because when I saw this trade, I really didn't like it, because of the fact that when I look at James Harden's game, James Harden, him and Kyrie are real similar. They're not really assist guys. They're really out to just eat themselves. They're not really on be selfless and pass the ball to their teammates. And if they were to do that, Russell Westbrook isn't a 3-point shooter. And this is where I strongly feel that he is very, very overrated. Like, people make it a big deal about Russell Westbrook's triple-double, but look how many shots Russell Westbrook has to put up to get the triple-double. I understand that, okay, it's hard to get a rebound being a guard, but as far as the amount of points that Russell Westbrook actually put up in OKC, he's actually putting up, 25, 30 points, but he's putting up 40 shots. And one of the things is field goal percentage is a big issue for me when it's sitting less than 45%. But I think Russell Westbrook will really benefit from Mike D'Antoni's offense, considering the fact that it's a transitional offense which Russell Westbrook is probably the fastest point guard in the league and can attack the basket when he has a full head of steam. So outside of that, man, like I really don't see him meshing well with James Harden. It's just very hard for me to see that working out.
Right. Well, I mean, I think overall the verdict is still out on the two of them. I feel like they're going to try to find a way because I think people are counting out. They're thinking it's not going to work. I'm just letting people know now, don't be surprised if it works good because, we talking about two guys who were the last two out of 3 MVP the last 3 years. Man, this is gonna be fun to watch, man. I'm happy the trade happened. I agree with the both of you guys. I think both of you guys made some really good points. Chris Paul is definitely on his last legs, but let's just hope Chris Paul gets it together too, because I would like to see him, get a ring, hopefully, because his impact on the game when Chris Paul was young, man. Come on. I mean, there was no better guard in the league at that time. I mean, he came in as a pit bull. But it's time waits for nobody, man. And Father Time is undefeated. So, hopefully he can get it together. I think he's going to end up being with LeBron, but hey, we'll see. So we're gonna change the pace. We're gonna go back to football. I just want to give a quick shout out to our listeners who made it to this point. Again, just want to let you guys know, thank you for listening. And again, please don't forget to go to the Not for Debate podcast YouTube channel and subscribe and comment and like. Also, Great One DeVore has a YouTube channel as well that we want you guys to take a peek at and subscribe, comment, like as well as we continue to work on building the brands. We really appreciate you guys for listening to the podcast. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to talk a little bit about Melvin Gordon and his contract situation over there in Los Angeles with the Chargers. Apparently he wants a new deal, man, and I'm one for wanting people to get their money. So we'll start here with you, Divorce. What's the details, man? Let us know.
You said that you're one of those people that feel like people should get their money, but as a business owner, would you want him to get his money?
Why not? He's a good player.
Okay,
he's proved his worth.
All right, well, I'm about to
he's
drop
a damn good player.
I'm about to drop the mic on this.
You dropped the mic with Kiko Alonso. I think people turned it off after that point.
So Melvin Gordon, when I look at Melvin Gordon, well, running backs in general, they really don't go outside their first rookie contract, to be quite honest with you. If you look at Le'Veon Bell, he sat out the 2018 season because he wasn't satisfied with the number the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to give him moving forward. So that's why he's with New York. Didn't exactly get the contract that he was looking for, but it wasn't exactly worth it if you ask me. Now we're looking at Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon has been. I'm not going to deny his talent. I'm not going to deny his talent. He's a really good running back, but durability is a huge issue for me. In the 2018 season, he played 12 games. 2017, he played all 16. 2016, played 13 games. And 2015, he played 14 games. So he basically only went over 1,000 yards one time. And like I said, running backs don't usually get a big contract after their first rookie deal. And when I look at the depth on the Los Angeles Chargers off running back depth chart, I really like Austin Eckler. That dude can ball. He had 554 yards and 3 TDs.
Yeah, but Austin Eckler is not. No way. We're not going to do this, bro.
What do you mean we're not going to do it? What do you mean we're not going to do it?
So you're going to say because of Austin Eckler, you're not going to pay Melvin Gordon? I think Melvin Gordon deserves to get paid.
Okay, well, let another team pay him. Well, let another team pay him.
What do you mean let another team pay him? Austin Eckler is a good enough player to step in. I'm not at the same level as Melvin Gordon. No way.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you because not only does Melvin Gordon contribute in running the ball, he also could catch the football too. He had 490 yards receiving yards and 4 TDs. That's 14 TDs on the whole season. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the business. We're not gonna pay a running back.
See, the business practice needs to change.
For
and
what?
that's a problem that I have with. No, listen to me really quick. The problem that I have with the NFL as of right now is they're valuing positions that they think is important. The running back position is just as important as any other position in the field. And I'm getting tired of the argument being that you could just pick up a running back and put him in and put somebody else there.
Let's be careful how we say that. Can we be careful how we say that? Unless they're like a transcendent running back, I'm not paying them.
Right, so they got to be a but why do we give the quarterback so many opportunities to be transcendent? But when a running back is just transcendent as such as Melvin Gordon started off rough, and his only issue was fumbling problems. He had issues holding on to the ball in his rookie year, and he took time off in the offseason and he improved himself. And he's been an elite caliber running back since then. He is a very good player. And I think that Los Angeles Chargers will be making a big mistake here, getting big-headed, thinking that everybody is replaceable. Not all players are replaceable. That's just my opinion. The team, I don't think Austin Eckler, and there's no disrespect to him. He's a grinder too. But I'm not going to hold him to the same regard as I hold Melvin Gordon. I feel like Melvin Gordon deserves his money. He deserves it. He goes out there, he plays well. He can run in between the tackle. He can run outside the tackle. He reminds me a lot of what's the guy's name a few years ago who was kind of that. Like, he reminds me of Clinton Portis before Clinton Portis got to the Washington Redskins. When Clinton Portis had that slim body and he was getting in between those tackles and those jump cuts and those one cuts and in and out. He reminds me a lot of that style of Portis. Clinton Portis didn't have the catching ability as Melvin Gordon. And look at how great Melvin Gordon is as a runner and a receiver. He's awesome. So, like, you don't just replace that, bro. You don't. He's a threat at all times.
It's Eckler time.
You are something else, man.
It's Eckler time.
You are something else.
It's Eckler time.
Wes, save us. Wes,
stop.
Save
Eckler time.
Wes,
save us. Where you at, Wes?
Like the boy said, man, it is a business, but
wow.
Let me finish. It's a business, dog, and he is a lot of backs like him don't come around. I just got like two things to say on that. Number one, you got to look at his class. Compare him to the guys he came out the draft with.
Mm-hmm.
A couple names. Number one is Todd Gurley, the only running back drafted before him.
He done too.
Yep.
That's a terrible example. He done too.
Whoa. Okay, you know what, Wes? Go ahead and finish, because he just got really disrespectful. Go ahead and finish, Wes.
Well, we know what Todd Gurley did. Todd Gurley put up numbers, and I think he will continue to do so for the next couple of years.
Thank you.
You had guys like T.J. Yeldon, freaking Amir Abdullah, who I could have swore was going to be like the next coming of Darren Sproles or somebody. Anyway. Tevin Coleman's been serviceable, but they felt like Devontae Freeman was better.
He is.
No, Tevin Coleman was better. Tevin Coleman was better.
Did Devontae Freeman?
Yes.
Okay, finish.
The Atlanta Falcons, they're going to struggle big time this year without Tevin Coleman.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Johnson came out that year. David Johnson came out that year.
He's the best back in football.
Are you serious?
That's his words. That's what he said. He the best back in football.
Let me get the point around. J.J. Carlos Williams, Malcolm Brown, who is Todd Gurley's backup. Now you look at what these guys have done, and then you compare that to Melvin Gordon. Like, Gordon he's good, but he has to be available. He has to be on the field to do that stuff. He just don't have the numbers to really back up his talent. You know what I mean? We see Gurley's numbers.
And he on his way out too.
List. Those guys are good, but their numbers just don't grow.
Yeah, I'm about to ether the board tonight, yo. I'm about to put him on the bed for the last time, bro.
What, you gonna devour me?
I was Todd Gurley on his way out.
You gonna devour me? You gonna devour me?
Pause. We ain't devouring ish on this side.
Yeah, I mean,
we ain't on that.
The case for them to pay him, it just doesn't look good business-wise. But if I'm that guy, if I'm that GM or whatever, I don't know, man. I don't think I could pay him either, because you look at the running backs. You got Austin Eckler and that Justin Jackson dude. He looked pretty good. Not saying they're better than Gordon. They can replace him, but it's a business, and they got a couple pieces that they need to keep. Their defense is really looking good, and they need to try to keep that together. Not to mention, they still got to pay Russell Okung and Keelan Allen next year.
Right.
Over the next 2 years, they got to pay them guys. And then after that, you got like Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram still to pay. Phillip Rivers, you probably gonna have to give him another contract.
Nah, I think Phillip might be done. They might want to look towards the future. But I see what you're saying though. There's like I said, but I'm sorry to get off topic real quick, but that hourglass is sure still coming down for Dak Prescott and that contract deal. But anyway, let's get back to the Chargers real fast. We have all these players that need to be paid. We have all these players that need to be paid. You're just going to have to cut your losses and see how you can put the fire out. And Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson, they may not be a Melvin Gordon, but they be a nice Band-Aid.
That's the business move to make, but I respect Melvin Gordon's position to take a stand for the running back position. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think he's finna sit out the whole season or nothing like that. Well, I don't know. We've seen it happen. We've now seen it happen. It's a possibility.
Well,
I think they'll trade him before that happens. And the team I would like to see him go play for is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think he'll turn their whole offense around.
Oh yeah, that's a nice trade. I like that, Wes. Good job.
Yeah, I think he'll fit right in there. Especially you give Bruce Arians a back like that. Ooh, man.
Bruce Arians is where now? With what team was that again?
Well, Tampa
Bay. Oh, that'd be nice. Jameis Winston finally had a running back that can help him out. Finally, because Doug Martin ain't never turned out to be nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I got on that, though, man. I don't think he's going to get that contract up out of them. They got to.
Nah, good take. Good take. And that's why we value your opinion here. But we all know I'm the most accurate person here on this topic. Melvin Gordon, get your money. If this podcast happened to touch your ears, remember, I was on your side. I wanted you to stay in LA and get your money, but these two bums want you out for business reasons.
See, that's your problem. That's your problem again. You want to be a fanboy. You can't be a fanboy.
It's not being a fanboy. It's what it is what it is. The man is a good player. Why would you get rid of a good player? For what? This guy...
Dolphins do that all the time, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's the Dolphins. The good players don't want to play in Miami anyway. That's the thing about it. Yeah, I said it, Miami Dolphins fans. Your team
You only
sucks,
rushed for 1,000 yards one time. One time.
He's a hell of a back. He is a marvel to watch. But from the business standpoint, it don't really make sense for the Chargers to pay him. I would like to see him stay on that team, that talented team, but it just don't make sense for them.
All right, well, we got that. That's cool. I mean, everybody gave a good, honest take on it. And that's why we respect each other's opinions. Though we disagree. Well, we're going to move it along here. So, man, this is a good topic, man. I love talking about this topic every year. This is the topic I love talking. We're talking about top cornerbacks in the NFL, the top 5 cornerbacks in the NFL. This is a position of promise. A lot of talent in the NFL is here. When I sat back and I looked at the list of players that are available at this spot, in this position, it's a lot of good talented cornerbacks in the league. And it's good to see that a lot of these cornerbacks are serviceable and they're doing really good. So I'll go ahead and begin. with my top 5 corners in the league. Starting off with number 5, I got Denzel Ward with the Cleveland Browns. Denzel Ward, I mean, he did awesome. He did a really good job. Even though he got injured for the most part, before those injuries kicked his butt, he was doing a really good job for the Cleveland Browns. And he was on his way to being one of the top 3 corners in the league before that happened. Dude can ball. And I see him lock down some pretty good people, including Antonio. But anyway, number 4, I'm going to go ahead and put in. I hate to say this, man. I hate to say this. This is my guy too. Nah, I got Jalen Ramsey at number 4, man.
How'd you hate him?
Well, I don't hate him. I love Jalen Ramsey. He's a Florida State Seminole. Shout out to Florida State Seminoles, man. Jalen Ramsey, that's my guy. But he took a hit last year. He felt it. I feel like his confidence was shaken last year because of how bad the Jacksonville Jaguars were as a team. And I just feel so bad for them in that defense. It's so hard to get up and want to go out there and play defense when you got whoever they had at quarterback. What's that guy's name was again? That's that guy's name. Who's that guy named
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles, my God. How hard, you know how difficult it had to be to grab your helmet off the bleachers and walk back out there after getting a turnover, and you got the ball at the 1 yard line on the interception. They can't put the ball in the end zone from the 1 because of Blake Bortles. I know that had to hurt. That had to hurt, man. So Jalen Ramsey at number 4. I'm expecting him to be number 1 at the end of this year. The man, the myth, the legend at number 3, we got Patrick Peterson. With all due respect to Patrick Peterson, man, I love him. I love him a lot. He's always been a player that I've had a lot of mutual respect for. And the guy, what can he not do? I mean, Patrick Peterson has been holding it down from the moment he came into the league from LSU. Very strong, physical guy. He doesn't go out there and talk trash to anybody. He just backs it up. He comes out there and he performs year in and year out. And number 2, this is going to surprise a lot of people. Number 2 spot is going to surprise a lot of people, but he deserves to be here after having to struggle with injuries the last couple of years. And he was on his way to being one of the best in the league before the injuries, and then it derailed him. That's Kyle Fuller for the Chicago Bears. He's back, man. Kyle Fuller probably got the best ball IQ pause in the NFL, man. This guy's a true definition of a ball hawk. Like, it seems like wherever the ball is at, he's on it. And then, I mean, I'm talking about another year where he led the NFL in interceptions. And I also did some research on him before we did the podcast, and I found out that he tied for the most passes defended in the league at 43 over the last 2 seasons, which means it's a no-fly zone. That means it ain't going down. So big respects to Kyle Fuller. I'm happy to see that he was able to bounce back from those injuries, and I got him at the number 2 spot. And last but not least, I think this guy deserves to be here after since he got to New England, he's just been getting better and better. I mean, he was already good, but he's getting better and better. That's Stephon Gilmore. For what the stats are showing here, he forced the NFL's second highest total of pass breakups with 20, while allowing opposing quarterbacks to complete just over 42% of their pass attempts with a passer rating of 56.3, which is insane. That means he is in his study room. He's studying these players. He's studying these receivers. He's studying these quarterbacks, and he's studying plays. And he's figured you out. Stephon Gilmore at number 1. So that's my list. Now, I feel bad because Xavier Rhodes is not in this list, DeVore. You know how crazy I'm about Xavier Rhodes. I feel so bad, man, but he's not in that list.
Why isn't Xavier Rhodes in your list? Why?
I don't know, man. I feel like he's falling off, man. I feel like he's shining away from the camera. It is so crazy because I went so hard for him like 2 years ago. I went so hard for Xavier Rhodes. So I fought so many people by him because everybody's like, no, he's not good. But I guess everybody's word is being proven more valuable than mine because he hasn't been himself, man. Like, I don't know what's gotten into him. It's just been, and I don't know if it was been injury-related issues or it's just mental things. I don't know. Maybe he wants out of Minnesota. Who knows? I don't know.
But with Jalen Ramsey, but he's still on your list.
Yeah, I know. But Jalen Ramsey is more productive over the last couple of years, too. Jalen Ramsey's a man. Don't get me wrong. Xavier Rose can be out there. I should have had Xavier Rose 1 and Jalen Ramsey 2, but I didn't want to be that disrespectful to anybody else in the league. Look, I'm a guy of common sense, man. I watch football, and I know what I'm talking about. So,
I know what you should have been, but your list is not that. Okay, got it. Good list, though.
Well, so with that being said, we're gonna pass it off to Wes now. Wes, what's your top?
Go to the real how it should have went. Number 5 is that guy in New England. He's like you say, he battled injuries.
What a hater! The man don't even get a name.
Bro, could you let me finish?
The world needs to know his name, bro. Why you acting like that? The world needs to know his name.
The guy who Jared Goff lobbed the pass to and threw the game away. I know Rashad listens.
It's good.
So,
yeah, Rashad definitely listens to this.
Definitely I'll give him at number 5. That dude, he came a long way. And I did see him on the way to being one of the best in Buffalo, but, the injuries happened, such and such. Number 4
right,
is a dude that shows up to play every game. He is no slouch. You don't try him. You try him, you're going to come up short almost every time. That is Chris Harris.
Oh, yeah, respect.
Chris Harris is the
respect.
Number 3 is Patrick Peterson, man. He's still here. He's still the same Patrick Peterson.
Right.
So we see a decline. He gonna be in the top 5 every year.
Right.
You got some.
I see what you did there. I did the same with Luke Kuechly.
Right. Until you see that decline, bro, he ain't going nowhere. You got some young guys, coming up. Just to name a few, Darius Slade, Marshawn Lattimore, Jerry Alexander look good too, but they're they got to prove it, man. They got to prove they can stay as consistent as Patrick Peterson. Number 2 is Jalen Ramsey. Number 1, Xavier Rose. Now, both of them had similar years last year where they kind of
wow, I like your picks right there. You serious?
Like your list should have been. Number 2, James.
Did you tell him that you was gonna buy him lunch for them last 2 picks? Is that what you did? He said, "Hey, Wes, I'll buy you lunch if you put them 2 players in your top 5." Is that what you did?
Yeah. Nah, that ain't happened at all. But I actually did lunch the other day. But aside from the point, them the guys you do not try. You shouldn't even look their way. I don't know if y'all remember when Aaron Rodgers played Jacksonville, when they were like the top defense, he didn't even look Jalen Ramsey's way.
Nobody does.
Listen, you got to go play ball regardless. He kind of lost a little respect from me for doing that, but I mean, he's just not that guy to try. Him and Xavier Rose, similar play styles, physical,
similar, yeah, body types and everything.
Everything. And they could easily be swapped around, man. So that's my 1 and 2, and that rounds out my top 5. What you got, DeVore?
My number 5 was a little controversial with Jalen Ramsey. I'm sorry, I can't put him in my number 1. I know he's going to be back in 2019 with a vengeance, considering the fact he talked all that trash and he was unable to back it up this year. But for 2019, I think he'll be back for a vengeance. And I have it controversial because the fact that I had Patrick Peterson in my top 5, but unfortunately he tested positive for PED, so I gotta take points off of that.
Get out of here!
I'm sorry,
garbage,
I gotta take points off of that. I really do, unless it's innocent till proven guilty. So I just gotta take points off of that. But number 4, I got Casey Hayward for the Los Angeles Chargers. This dude, he must have some stickum on his hands because that dude, anytime the ball is in his area, he is catching the ball. Number 3, I got. This is why y'all list with some bull jive, because you should have had Xavier Howard on your list, and especially you, Banks, who sat back and said that Kyle Fuller tied for the league interceptions. You was baiting me when you said that too. But guess who got tied with? Who got tied with him? Who got tied with him?
Nobody important.
Who got tied with him?
I like Xavier Howard. I like Xavier Howard. Remember, I said it. I like him a lot. I thought he deserved that money he got. Personally, I said that. So don't give me crap, because I'm on board with you with Xavier Howard. I like him. I'm just giving you crap because I know you're a Dolphin fan, and it's hard for me to admit anybody good in Miami. But I will give you that Xavier Howard is a good corner. So yeah, respect. Okay. I like Xavier Howard.
Now I'm gonna look at Westdale, because he said the Miami Dolphins don't ever play good players, which hits. There you go. Xavier Howard got paid. He is now the highest paid corner in the NFL right now. Now, moving on to number two. I got Chris Harris Jr. because not only does he play the outside, he can play the slot. And playing the slot and having the ability to play on the outside is extremely difficult to do for the NFL corner. So that's Chris Harris at number 2. And at number 1, I have Stephon Gilmore. There's nobody touching Stephon Gilmore right now, because that dude is left on an island, asked to do that in the New England Patriots defense, where the second best corner is out, has help over the top with the safety. Also, I did want to say one thing about Kyle Fuller on your list, Banks. Don't you think a good pass rush makes a better corner?
Absolutely.
All right then. So why is Kyle Fuller on your list?
Be real. Because Kyle Fuller, but without a pass rush, when the Bears defense was terrible, his rookie year and his next season, he did his thing too. He just got hurt. That when Kyle Fuller plays, he is probably the best cornerback in the league.
That's a bull job, no.
All right. I'm you, man.
1 second.
Go ahead, Wes. I hear you, man. Go ahead.
So, DeBoer, like you said,
go ahead.
Good pass rush does make a good corner, right?
I'm listening.
Casey Hayward has the best pass rush in the league. What are you talking about?
Before Joey Bosa got there, Casey Hayward was balling. So don't give me that crap. He was balling with the Packers.
But you just saved my argument, because I just said the same thing about Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller was holding it down even before that.
No, that's bull job. Their defense has been somewhat decent. That Green Bay Packers defense has been terrible since he came into the league. What you mean they got nothing to do with him?
Nothing to do with him.
What you mean they got nothing to do with him?
He was the one constant.
Who was the one constant?
It had nothing to do with him.
Oh, so
Kyle Fuller was one of the. Why do you think the Bears kept him around so long? Any other player at that position, they would have let go with those kind of ACL injuries. They would have been let him walk in the corner position. The Bears knew what they had. That's why they kept him.
Okay, so Adrian Amos has been there as long as he's been there. Eddie Jackson has been there as long as he's been there. And then you have
Bryce Callahan has been there. Yeah, that's fine. I hear everything.
Okay.
Not no Kyle Fuller.
Okay, then.
Kyle Fuller.
All right, then. So what you trying to say? What you trying to say?
I'm trying to say Kyle Fuller is one of the best corners in the league, which is why I had him at number 2. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The man can ball.
Hayward before Casey Hayward was Casey Hayward.
Repeat that again, Wes.
Do you know who was Casey Hayward before Casey Hayward was Casey Hayward? It was Jason Verrett. That was the guy.
Right.
Jason Verrett can't stay healthy. I love me some Jason Verrett, but that dude cannot stay healthy.
I do too, but he can't stay healthy.
It's that
I like him a lot.
Been there, and that pass rush also helped Jason Verrett. So,
right.
What about the pass rush, dude? It holds true.
But look here. The Jason Verrett is that argument is irrelevant, because it is yet to be shown that Jason Verrett can stay healthy, and it's a full 16 game season. Now, when he is on the field, he has been extremely productive. There's the statistics out there for that, but that's going to be a topic for a different day. But Casey Hayward, with his time with the Green Bay Packers to with his time now with the Los Angeles Chargers, he's been extremely productive. And honestly, I would like to make the argument he has the most interceptions over the past 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Can't argue that, but the man has had a pass rush all 4 of them years. They don't have the sacks because the quarterback got it off right into his hands. Am I right?
Okay.
Right.
You're right.
Right. I would respect David Howard more because I know the Dolphins don't have crap. They barely even got a coach.
Who's the Pittsburgh Steelers coach?
Mike Tomlin.
Art Rooney already downloaded the next coach if he failed this year. Let's move on to the next topic.
All right, man. Listen, this has been fun. Listen, all right. So this is the last topic of today's podcast, man. Very, very controversial topic here. I don't think it's any controversy, but everybody seems to want to argue about who's the greatest of this and greatest of that. It's this section of the podcast is called GOAT QBs. Now, I don't know. I wasn't given instruction on how we're going to do that. Are we going by top 5 or are we going by the best ever?
The key word is GOAT. Who is the greatest of all time? There is not no top 5 greats. There's one great. You know who Michael Jordan is? The great. LeBron is not the greatest. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. Now, this is the one. This is the topic that I was looking forward to this whole time. So when you say Wes go first, no, I want the limelight. I want to go first.
All right, so we're gonna let the co-host go ahead and go first. My guy DeVore, go ahead. You got the mic, man. Let us know.
All right. Before I get into detail about this, I just want to make this perfectly clear. Accomplishments are totally different from
you bum.
The greatest the being the greatest of all time. There's a lot of things that come into this, and one of my biggest ramifications when it comes down to the greatest of all time is the team's level of production when the quarterback is not in the lineup. Now, everybody wants to go with the public perception that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, which that is extremely false. Yes, I agree with you that he has 6 rings, which goes back to what I said earlier. Accomplishments are different than actual talent and teams.
Hold on, time out. So
go ahead.
Jordan be the GOAT.
Who said what?
That means Jordan might not be the GOAT. If the 6 rings don't mean nothing.
What you mean, Michael Jordan might not be the GOAT of the 6 rings? That don't mean nothing. Who's a better basketball player?
LeBron James.
That you ever seen? Who is the best basketball player you ever seen?
LeBron James.
Banks, I'm gonna let you handle that this time. I ain't gonna get into that. You better tell him. You better tell like it is.
The LeBron James and Michael Jordan debate is gonna have to be a podcast in itself. So we're gonna talk about that on another level because that's an entire hour on just Michael Jordan and LeBron James. I don't even want to touch it. I'm
confused about something.
What you say, Wes?
Why would y'all want to spend that much time being confused about it?
Because I'm going to smack some sense into you during that daggone podcast when we go on a straight hour about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Because this one makes me sick that everybody wants to disinclude Kobe Bryant in this conversation when Kobe Bryant's more of a GOAT than LeBron James.
Facts.
I don't know about all that.
Facts.
Okay, can I get back to my quarterback GOAT of all time?
Yeah, you didn't even give it to us yet, but go ahead.
Okay, so going back to what I was saying, right? This is where I'm at. This is where I get people at because people want to put rings in the conversation, but when you look at Dan Marino, would you say he's a top 3 quarterback of all time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then. So now, with that being said, Dan Marino has 0 rings. Now let's look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, which Wes is very, very extremely familiar with. Which quarterback in your franchise history has 4 rings?
Terry Bradshaw.
Okay, then. So now, are you going to sit back and argue with me right now that Terry Bradshaw was a better quarterback than Dan Marino?
No, I was not.
Okay, then. So I rest my case on that. So now, when I look at the New England Patriots team as a whole, the level of production without Tom Brady in the lineup, which 2015, if I'm not mistaken, no, 2016, sorry, when he ended up being suspended for Deflategate for 4 straight games, the New England Patriots went 3-1. They were still productive without Tom Brady, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, then. So now if we want to go back even further, when back in 2008, when Tom Brady tore his ACL and Matt Castle had to come in and take over for the New England Patriots, their record was 11-5. Any objections to that?
I mean, Dolphins are in their division, so it's like 2 free wins. But yeah, correct.
Okay, then. So now when I sit back and I look at teams like the Indianapolis Colts back then with Peyton Manning in the lineup, which basically they didn't have a defense, and then Drew Brees somewhat not on a consistent basis not having a defense, and then Bill Belichick's the reason why Bill Belichick is to be the greatest coach of all time is because of his ability to plug and play players. People keep on saying Tom Brady keeps on taking a pay cut because he wants to bring in more players to the team. Have you ever sat back and actually thought about this? Maybe Tom Brady's taking a pay cut because he wants to play with Bill Belichick.
Solid point there. Solid point.
Okay. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to one of y'all, and then I'll just chime in after that.
I think I'll take over next. Peyton Manning, man. Peyton Manning has my vote. What he does on the field and what Tom Brady does on the field you can't compare it. Peyton he's basically playing chess out there. And he's whooping you at it. Peyton Manning, man, you can't say enough about him. He was the system. Tom Brady, as DeVore just pretty much mapped it out for us, he's a system guy. I think he's a system guy. He does great in that system. But Peyton Manning was the system. He was the brain of his offense. Tom Brady knows where he's going. If he's going to dump it down, or when everybody come up for the dump down, he just going to hit you deep. So I got Peyton Manning. That's my goal, bro.
So DeVore, who is your pick? Let's go again.
Anybody with Brady.
All right. So with that being said, it's my turn then, right?
Yep.
It's your turn.
You know what? Let me start by saying this. Super Bowls are everything. You don't play the sport to be a loser. No one likes a loser. And I'm going to be very fair and say this. I feel personally that if Dan Marino would have just won one Super Bowl, only one, he would have been the greatest quarterback of all time, in my opinion. I don't feel Dan Marino got enough respect for the amount of work that he did. I don't know a lot about. I saw him towards his later career when he was going on a shelf type player, but watching his highlights and stuff like that, and seeing him come in at 85 and all that stuff, he did his thing. And he put up numbers. You can't argue with his numbers, and you can never argue. And the good thing about it was it wasn't just his arm that made him great. He could run the ball very well back in the day as well. So, in my opinion, Dan Marino, just with one ring, would have been the very best quarterback of all time. But he didn't. And facts are, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. There's no debate, ain't no discussing, ain't no arguing it. This man has came in with the least amount of expectation it was. We're talking about a 6th-round draft pick, A guy that nobody even considered it to even.
Hold on. Let me stop. Can I stop you real quick?
Wait, no.
I got a question. I have a question.
I didn't interrupt you. Nope. I'm not dealing with that. Because I am so sick and tired of people looking over Tom Brady, man. This man has been looked over his entire NFL career. People got to start respecting this man's body of work. Tom Brady is the type of player that people are not going to appreciate until he's out of the league. And I feel like people hate Tom Brady so much only because all he knows how to do is win. That's the only thing. I don't care about deflate. I don't care about Spygate. I don't care about any gate. The gates that matter to me is the gate that he's going to be walking through one day when he retires from the NFL. He walks through Canton. Because with all due respect, it's been great quarterbacks who come into the league like Peyton Manning and all those guys who had all these great expectations and, in my opinion, haven't even stood up to the bill that Tom Brady has had to deal with. And I don't care about the system that he's in that means nothing. Systems mean if it works for you, it works for you. It ain't his fault that he's been surrounded. The talent was put around him to win. And you know what's the biggest difference for Tom Brady than everybody else? Tom Brady gets it done with the water boy, the towel boy, the janitor, the gym guy, the girl from down the street, the dude from the hallway. He gets it done. He gets it done. And we've seen an opportunity of how great Tom Brady of a quarterback he is, just how great he is just by 1 or 2 years of Randy Moss. The very first year having an elite level receiver, what does Tom Brady does?
Losing the Super Bowl. Losing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, whatever. But we know they should have. That was the luckiest. Man, please. So in my opinion, Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. The GOAT. He is the GOAT, and he earned it because he went out there, he didn't complain, he got the job done. He did what a lot of people who came before him in higher positions who made millions and more dollars from being number one draft picks and all this stuff. And here's a guy out of Michigan who can barely run, but can throw the ball with grace and style and grace. And this guy has been nothing but a positive face for the league. He's done nothing besides the deflate ball thing, which I think was just overblown, was blown out of proportion, only because it was Tom Brady. That's why I think that happened. So in my opinion, Tom Brady, once again, is the greatest quarterback of all time, set aside for the rings. But the rings solidified it to me. There's no other quarterback in the league with 6 rings. Name them.
No, none.
Exactly. Exactly. There's no other quarterback in Canton with 6 rings on one on hands. None of them.
No other quarterback has rules made up for him right on the spot either.
Oh my God,
that is true.
So did Tom Brady go to the office and say, "Make this rule after me"? Okay, we get it. The top rule was a fumble. It was a fumble, but they missed the call. Just like the Rams in the New Orleans Saints game. Everybody and their mama know that was pass interference, but guess what? They missed the call. So is Tom Brady supposed to go out there and apologize and say, "Oh, you know what? I fumbled the ball"? He did what any other player did. I didn't fumble. What you mean I fumbled? I didn't fumble. You would have did the same exact thing. There's no way you would have went out there.
We cannot compare those two situations because the New Orleans Saints the New Orleans Saints had the opportunity to go back on the field and put the game away. And guess what? Drew Brees threw the pick. Yeah, Drew Brees threw the pick. But guess what? But the New England Patriots game, if the Oakland Raiders get that fumble recovery, the game is over.
And we don't
right.
We ain't even talking about him right now.
We're talking one Super Bowl though. And how do you think I feel as a Rams fan losing to the New England Patriots only to find out in the next season that the whole Spygate thing started with us? And they beat us in the Super Bowl, but I didn't make any excuses about it. I didn't sit up and say, they beat us. Because if you sit there and watch the game, they had an idea what the plays were running and all that stuff, but they still out-executed us. The Rams walked in with the expectation that year that we were better than everybody that we played. And we played like that the all entire season. And we walked in expecting that we're going to roll over the New England Patriots, and they surprised us. They did. They surprised us.
So
like
what's his excuse against the Eagles?
What do you mean against the Eagles?
What's the excuse in the Eagles Super Bowl?
There's no excuse in the Eagles Super Bowl. What was tied to the Eagles Super Bowl? Nothing but Donovan and Nab played like crap.
No, the Nick Foles Super Bowl.
Oh well, the Philadelphia Eagles went out there and they executed. They played better football.
No,
they played better football.
The defense for the New England Patriots didn't show up, and Tom Brady got busted. That's what happened. Now, for you to be a Rams fan to come out and say that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, that's ridiculous to me. Because back then in 2001, the Rams were the greatest offense on turf, historically great, with Marshall Faulk as the greatest running back of all time, and you had Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, and all those other guys back then with Kurt Warner when they was putting up 30 plus points on teams. But guess what that score was in that Super Bowl? They didn't put nothing up more than 24 points in that game. So I'm guessing the Bill Belichick defense doesn't get credit for that.
It does.
Oh, okay. So when you holding teams to under 24 points a game, what does that have to do with Tom Brady when you still got to go out there and be the guy that leads your team down the field? Okay. Give Aaron Rodgers a good defensive coordinator that can hold the opposing team to 24 points. I bet you go undefeated every year.
He probably would, but at the end of the day, he's not doing it. And he probably will. You're probably right. It's no knock on anybody in the league. I'm just tired of people taking away from Tom Brady's legacy, all because the Patriots have been organizing their team the way that we criticize people for doing. When your team doesn't do well, what's the first thing you say? Man, we need to get receivers, man. We need a whole new coaching staff. We need to. The Patriots go out and do it. They don't complain. They just go get it done.
So what's the excuse when they still win when he's not in the lineup? What is the excuse why they win while he's not in the lineup? What is the excuse?
There is no excuse. The show must go on.
All right, then.
The show must go on. There's no excuse. That doesn't take away from his legacy, though, because Matt Castle came out there the year later and went 11-5. Though they went 11-5, did the Patriots make the playoff that year? Yes or no?
No.
Exactly. So they didn't make the playoffs.
How come the Dolphins just couldn't be that good that year? How come the Dolphins just couldn't be that good that year? Why I gotta be about that?
No, because the team sucks. They're never good.
They said they had a winning record. They had a winning record. So you act like they went 8-8 or something. They actually went 11-5. That's a winning record. What was their record this year?
Right,
11-5.
But they suck. That's not our fault. That's not anybody's fault that the Dolphins go out in the playoffs and they blow it, and the Patriots find a way to get the job done.
But you are totally excluding Bill Belichick in this conversation.
No, I'm not.
Why aren't you? Why ain't you?
I'm going to. Okay, allow me a moment. I'm going to include Bill Belichick because everybody and their mama know who is the mastermind behind that machine. Everybody knows Bill Belichick was the guy behind it. But guess what? Bill Belichick bought into Tom Brady. And you cannot, it's a reason why Bill Belichick made the decision. They could have got the job done with Drew Bledsoe. They could have got the job done. He made the decision to say, you know what? There's something special about this kid. I don't know what it is, but everybody wants to come and play, and they want to play for this guy.
Wes, you hear this crap? He just gave Bill Belichick too much credit. He said there's something about this kid.
It's true.
Did Drew Bledsoe get hurt? Did Drew Bledsoe get hurt?
Yeah, he got knocked out of the game by, what's that linebacker from Buffalo Bills? No, from the New York Jets. I forgot his name. Was it Sam Coward? Somebody, or Marvin, was it Marvin? Or Marvin Lewis? I think it was Marvin Lewis. Knocked him out the game.
But he just got put in there by default.
Hey, guess what? And it ends up turning into 6 Super Bowls. However you want to put it, man. However you want to put it, this man has the perfect career. Fairy tale ending career, man. Like stuff that you can only watch in a movie. He has a supermodel for a wife. He's filthy rich. He has 6 Super Bowl rings. And when he retires from the NFL, he's going to be known as the greatest quarterback of all time and probably one of the top 5 football players ever. Ever. Like, this man is great, man. Like, this man is awesome. So it's time that we start, we take away, we get out of the personal feelings that we had towards Tom Brady, and we recognize this man for his greatness. I have no issue with off the field stuff. I feel like the off the field stuff shouldn't have anything to do with the sport. I don't care about what Tom Brady did to footballs and all that stuff. All I know is from my viewpoint and watching Tom Brady sit back and play football, it has been amazing of what kind of productivity this guy has had. There's nothing that the defense that can do to stop this man. He knows everything that you're going to do and how to exploit it. People counted him out all last year. Tom Brady's done. He's washed up. He's this. He's that. He's this. He's that. And he ended up winning another Super Bowl. And guess what? Tom Brady played like trash in his last Super Bowl. He was terrible. It was terrible. But when the Patriots needed him the most, they showed up.
Hold on. How many points did the Patriots defense give up in the Super Bowl?
They probably gave up like 17 points. They should have gave up more.
0 points. 0 points. 0 points.
No, they gave up a touchdown. They gave up a touchdown against us.
No, they did not.
It should have been 2 touchdowns if Brandon Cooks doesn't drop the football. We scored a touchdown.
So you blaming Brandon Cooks for that? I blame Jared Goff.
Oh yeah, Jared Goff played like trash. But guess what? You want to know what else I blame for that too? I blame the coach. Because once again, our coach went out there and he was showing his ego off, and he didn't make adjustments. The Patriots, when you go back and watch that game from a film perspective, the Patriots went man to man every single down. They said, we're going to man you up, and we want you to beat us. If you can take advantage of our matchups, then great, kill us. But we're not going to play you zone at all, because they knew the focal point of the offense. There were 2 focal points in the Rams offense that were missing that game. You had Todd Gurley, who was not himself. If they can't run the ball, they're not going to beat us. That's the Patriots. Patriots. To beat the Patriots, you first need to be able to run the ball well. If you're not going to be able to run the ball, you're not going to beat them. That's number 1. Then number 2, Cooper Kupp's injury. With Cooper Kupp being in, that's when the Rams season turned around. When Cooper Kupp went down, our entire offense became super predictable. Super predictable. Run the ball, play action. Cooper Kupp down the middle of the field. Touchdown. And when we lost him, we had nobody on the receiving side who could step up and control the middle of the field. I was highly disappointed in Gerald Everett, because I thought Gerald Everett would have been that guy that we drafted him to be, with the 4 speed and a great hand. He ended up not being what I thought. But I don't know. All I know is
Peyton Manning's the GOAT.
Who was that, Wes?
That is fact. Man. I agree with Wes on that. Well, that might be a little debatable too, but the 1 year that Peyton Manning was out, what was their record?
Like 1 and whatever.
They had the first overall pick of the next draft, and guess who they drafted?
Andrew Luck.
All right, then. That's all we need to know. What is the team's level of production when the player is not in the lineup? That is evidence all in itself right there.
Yeah, whatever. Well, guys, I will say this. What's that, Wes?
He's not my GOAT, bro. Sorry.
Whatever, man. Donald Trump's not my president, but hey. I gotta accept it, right? So listen, you might not like the fact that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, but guess what? You're going to accept it, because when this guy retires, that's what's going to be an entire argument. Is when he retires, guess who everybody's going to get compared to? They're going to get compared to Tom Brady, not Peyton Manning. They're going to get compared to Tom Brady. So if y'all don't have to like it, but you're going to love it, because my boy TB12 is going in that Hall of Fame with 6 rings on his fingers, and they're going to instead of making a statue of himself, they're going to make it a gold statue of a goat. That's what they're going to do. It's going to be a golden goat. That's going to be his bust. His bust is going to be a goat head. That's what it's going to be, because Tom Brady is the man. But anyway, we want to thank everybody for listening to tonight's pod. The morning's podcast. We thank you guys for listening. You made it this far. Thank you. By the way, major announcement. We got some of our social media websites up and running. We got our Twitter. Please feel free to follow us on Twitter at the Not For Debate podcast. We have our YouTube page up and running. Again, Not For Debate podcast. Search Not For Debate podcast on the YouTube channel. Also, just to give our magnificent co-host who makes all this possible for us to come together and do this recording sessions. Devore, please, if you guys are listening, please type in Great One Devore on YouTube. Check out my guy's channel. Like, comment, subscribe to get his followers up. We need some of his followers to come by our page and like the videos and subscribe and all that good stuff. Also, the Instagram page is it done yet or are we still working?
The Instagram page is up and running.
Instagram page is up and running. So go ahead.
The page name is Not For Debate podcast.
Yes, the page name is Not For Debate podcast. So we're building, y'all. We working. We doing the best that we can do. Sorry it's been taking so long, but we still figuring this thing out. But it's always good to come together, talk some football, talk sports in general, argue, laugh. At the end of the day, it's all fun. Again, we want to thank our loyal listeners for stopping by. This was the Not For Debate episode podcast number 9. If you guys want to hear the previous sessions, please feel free to stop by the YouTube channel and check them out. You guys got anything you want to sign out with?
Yeah, man. We really appreciate y'all listening to us, taking the time out and taking in the sports world from all different crazy angles. People talking about Tom Brady, the greatest, Jordan Howard, and all type of craziness. Make sure y'all go follow all our social media websites, Instagram, Twitter, all that.
Devore, what up?
I just wanted to say I appreciate everybody checking out the podcast, and also the hourglass is still ticking on Dak Prescott's contract, just so everybody knows that too.
Oh, Dak Prescott in there.
All right, y'all, man. It's been real. Thank y'all for listening to the Not For Debate podcast. We're signing out, man. Y'all take it until next time. We'll holler at y'all. This boy crazy, man.